Are you ready to save time and money by giving your husband a fresh haircut in the comfort of your home? Oh, well, you've come to the right place. I'm going to show you a step-by-step tutorial how I'll guide you through the process of cutting your husband's hair like a pro, or a beginner. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter. You can do this. First things first, you're going to need to prepare yourself. You need a few things like a comb or a brush to brush out those knots, some hair clippers or scissors, some hair clips, a towel or a cape if you want to look professional, a spray bottle with water if you haven't already wet your hair. I would have a spray bottle on the side just in case the hair starts drying quickly, because it really is easier, I feel, cutting the hair wet. Unless you want to do a dry cut, that's up to you, but I'm doing a wet cut. And you can provide a mirror as well to make it look professional, but I'm sure you have a mirror in your bedroom that you can go and look at yourself, or he can look at himself after. So just want to shout out and say thank you to my husband for being the guinea pig. Let's see how it goes. Step number 2 is to prepare the hair. So start by washing it and then dry it with a microfiber towel, or at least to a degree where it's not soaking wet. Don't worry if you don't have a microfiber towel. You can use a t-shirt to dry his hair. You can cut the hair without washing it. Just lightly mist it with water from the spray bottle. However, he didn't wash his hair. I'm using the spray bottle to just constantly soak the hair. So I have a mist bottle. You just spray, spray, spray. I've done a video actually about this bottle. It has so many uses, and this is one of them. You might be interested to know that the brush I'm using is a detangle brush. The Tangle Teaser is my favorite brush at the moment. And so I'm using another type of Tangle Teaser, but the latest one is the best. Here you go. This is the one I'm talking about. Amazing. When the hair dries, it tends to curl up, and his hair is roughly type 2. But even though it's straight as, when his hair is long, it just starts curling at the bottom. So you really need to wet the hair. Make sure he's seated in a nice and comfortable chair so he doesn't wriggle around when you're cutting it. And obviously you might want to be comfortable as well. You can sit, but I'm standing and moving around. It's just easier for me. Step number 3, I say you need to detangle that hair. If you have knots and tangles, they need to come out. You don't want to cut the hair full of knots. You're going to have hair all over the place. It's going to be so uneven. It's not going to work out. Some people like to section the hair using a comb and divide it into sections, then clip away the top section and start from the back going forwards. I didn't. I'm cutting it all at once. Am I just brave or am I stupid? Now don't you worry. There are different ways of doing this. He said he wanted it about 2.5 inches cut off, so just below his shoulders, because it's like the middle of his back at the moment. So that was about 2.5 inches. If you want, you can also use clippers for the sideburns to shave the sides of the hair. I'm actually using professional cutting scissors to cut his hair. The next step is to make sure you brush it as straight as possible. You need to know exactly how much hair they would like cut off. And then I would say cut longer, and then you can go shorter. Never cut where the person tells you they want it, because sometimes the hair springs up and it's even shorter than where you intended to cut. I hope you can understand what I'm saying. But pay attention to the natural hairline and adjust the angle of the clippers as needed, so you can really get a nice even cut. Always start from the bottom, working up. So you can always make it shorter. But if you've cut it already, that hair's gone. So you don't want to go as short as possible. Start with a longer cut, and then you can refine it as you get to the length they want you to get to. Then it can be as seamless as can be. You can also use a comb to level up the hair, so you'll know, this is about right. You can straighten the cut with a comb after you've cut it already. Trim the top, up-clip the top section of the hair and comb it straight up. Use the scissors to trim the hair to the desired length. Cutting in small sections and checking for evenness as you go. I wouldn't just cut the whole width of the hair at once. I would cut a small section and another small section and another small section. You work through it. The comb is really there to blend any harsh lines. So you use the comb and the scissors to create a seamless transition between the lengths. This is just one length. I'm not doing any layers. I'm just going for one length. That's it. Another point I should make is don't use the jagged edge of the scissors. Here are some photos for you. I'm using this one and not the other one, because this other one really is for creating layers and we don't want any layers, just a plain cut. And then once you finish cutting, you can then use the mirror to check for any uneven areas and make any necessary adjustments. I went back quite a few times. I checked that he was happy with the length, and yes, he was. Now on to refining the cut. I used a fine comb to check that it was level, and it was. Once you finish cutting, use the mirror to check any uneven areas and then make the adjustments. I went back and trimmed a few more bits and again, and then I was like, if I keep trimming, it's gonna get shorter. Are you happy with this length? I asked him and he said, yes, that's fine. I'm happy with it. And voila, that's the cut done. Now on to styling. You really want to brush out all the hair. Brush the hair again and again and again, because there will be little bits of hair all over the place. When you cut hair, there's no, where did this hair come from? We were cutting, there's a lot of hair. And when you're detangling, you lose hair as well. Every time you brush your hair, you actually lose 50 to 100 hairs a day. So it really is normal to lose hair all the time. He was pretty happy with the cut. He then went and washed his hair and styled it however he wanted to. I didn't need to do anything, which is great. But yeah, it was done. So even though his hair is like a type 2 kind of hair, you can see the ends of the hair literally just want to flick up. Our hair naturally wants to curl, form the shape and the pattern that it's used to. This was probably where he tied his hair, and so the hair is used to curling up anyway. He has memory, so it knows, this is where you tie me. There you go. That looks much better. Another tip, don't be scared of the scissors. Be bold and courageous. If you make a mistake, it's okay. Hair does grow back. But remember, practice makes perfect. So don't be discouraged if it takes a few tries to master the technique. With time and patience, be patient with yourself. You'll become confident in your ability to give your husband a great haircut all the time. Every time he'll be like, nah, can you cut my hair? The first time I did a terrible job and he was like, oh my goodness, I wish I had a photo. I gave him a bob when he wanted about this length. And he was not happy. But you know what? I've learned from that process and this is where we are. He actually trusted me to do it again. So big ups. Like I did not think he would want me to cut his hair again. But he did, and I did a much better job. So don't be scared of the scissors. Just be confident and take your time, and the next time will be better. What a difference. The second time only cutting his hair. Like, I don't cut people's hair. I style hair. I'm more of a stylist. And I know all about which products to use for natural curly hair. I do cut my own hair, actually. I do cut my own hair. But I don't cut anyone's hair. I can help you embrace your curls and also help you to start your natural curly hair journey using products that are suitable for different hair types. Do you cut your husband's hair? Will your husband allow you to touch the scissors and cut his hair? How much trust does it take to cut your husband's hair? Or does he allow you to cut it? Anyway, I'm rambling. Thanks so much for watching Curls by Sharlene. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to like this video and leave a comment. Are you brave enough to cut your husband or children's hair? I want to know, have you done it before and how has it turned out? This is all the hair I cut in total. Thanks so much for watching Curls by Sharlene, and I'll see you next time. Bye.